We're in a place called Åre in Sweden. It's really cold here. Even early in the season, there's lots of snow. And it's a particularly special place. There are mountains, beautiful village, lots of atmosphere and culture. It's a great place for the Spartan Ultra World Championship.
The Spartan World Championship is an obstacle course race, often referred to as one of the toughest endurance events in the world.
This is testing the athlete that wants to come out for 24 hours, see how many miles they can do. The ultimate goal being to break 100 miles, and every lap being 5 miles with 25 obstacles on each lap.
Robert Killian leads the Spartan Ultra leaderboard coming into the race and is the most likely contender to take home the grand prize of $1 million.
I'm Robert Killian. We're currently in Åre, Sweden for the Spartan Race Ultra World Championships. It's a 24-hour endurance race, and essentially the winner is the person who can complete the most laps in 24 hours. And as you can see, there's some ice and snow and, I guess terrain that's going to be very challenging.
A former Green Beret, Killian is accustomed to the mental and physical endurance necessary to thrive in such harsh conditions.
I think my military background definitely helps me in this environment. It's something that we do as a Green Beret, as a Ranger in the special operations community are obstacles in austere environments. We're out there training in the worst conditions, in the toughest environments, so that we are able to then go to combat and not necessarily stress out and panic in a certain environment or a certain situation. So I think that mental toughness and that experience definitely is what got me into obstacle course racing. I think it's what kind of helps differentiate me a little bit between myself and the other athletes.
One of those other athletes is Canadian Ryan Atkins.
I won the Ultra World Championships last year in Iceland, and so yeah, I think I stand a pretty good chance of doing well here. And but I'm just here to compete and do my best, and I just want to finish the race having kind of given everything that I can give and feel completely spent at that finish line.
Atkins will be Killian's main competition in Sweden, aiming to repeat last year's success and retain his title as the best obstacle course racer in the world.
I think defending my title would mean a lot to me. It's pretty cool to be the best at the world at something, and it's pretty cool to do that multiple years in a row. So ultimately, I just want to have the best race that I can have. If that means first place or if that means 20th place. If I can cross that finish line just completely shattered, I'll be happy.
Thanks for showing me around. I only need a couple things, but... Okay, cool. Oh, elevator. Yeah, there we go. Let's not run more miles than we have to, right? And you can choose any race you want. And he's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So he's gonna help me pit tomorrow. Dude named Logan. So we'll see how it goes.
With the start fast approaching, the two take time to prepare their meals for the day ahead.
So yeah, tonight I'm gonna make a little bit of spaghetti.
In 600 meters, turn left.
For Killian, this is also a chance to reflect on the opportunity that lies ahead.
Your destination is on the right.
This is the last race of my season. I am done after this. So no matter what, honestly, I'm just so excited for that and to be able to go home and spend some time with my kids, because it was a very tough time this time. I've been leaving them a lot all year for races, and this was the longest stretch. I've been gone for a week and a half now. And for one of the first times, my son just started bawling out crying, and he's like, I don't want you to leave. I want to be with you. And I was just that hit me really hard. It was so hard to come, and I just want to get back and hang out with him. But I would probably regret if I didn't try to take this opportunity, because it could be life-changing for them to win this amount of money. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I could sacrifice a little bit now and maybe not have to work for the next 5 years and spend a lot of time with them, versus if I didn't come here and I was home with them, I'd be watching it on TV, be like, man, why didn't I go? It is a very large amount of money. It would, give me an opportunity to spend more time with my kids. It's kind of ironic, the main reason I'm away from my kids is to provide for them, but you want to spend that time with them. So I think this would be an awesome opportunity because I could forego, the next 5 or 6 years of having to work and save the amount of money that I could potentially win in one day and spend a lot of that time with them.
Race day, and as the start time approaches, the elite athletes prepare themselves for the challenge ahead.
Robert Killian. We welcome you to the 2019 Spartan Ultra World Championship!
The race begins at midday, taking athletes through the village of Ora via a host of challenging obstacles.
Ryan and I have battled back and forth in so many races. And unfortunately, in 24-hour events, I've never beaten him. I've beaten him at 3 World Championship events out of 5. But so we're about 50-50 maybe overall. But yeah, I think we go back and forth, and we have, a little bit of personality differences, but we try to, get past those and just, be as respectful towards one another as we can. I guess I'll just leave it at that.
As the race progresses, Atkins heads the pack, tackling the mountainous climbs with Robert Killian only a few minutes behind.
I was aware of where Rob was, but I could only really control what I was doing in my race, and I just wanted to throw down consistent but maintainable kind of laps for a while. I think I did a bunch of laps that were around 1 hour and 19 minutes, which was about 10 or 12 minutes faster than he was doing, so that really built a big lead pretty quickly, lap after lap.
As night falls, athletes continue into the darkness, trails becoming perilous, obstacles slippery, and injury inevitable.
I fell on a bucket, and it hit me right on top of my patella.
Come on!
And I think that impact when I slipped on the ice, I think that just kind of bruised it. And then as I continued to run on it, it just got worse.
Come on. Almost.
After 55 miles, I sat down to eat some food, and that's when my adrenaline kind of started to subside, and I really felt how much it hurt to bend it. The conditions are getting worse. It's really windy. It's cold to start. There's a lot of ice on the course, and I was just seeing people falling all over the place. And it just, I don't know. This is literally the first race where I've ever listened to my body and actually stopped. And I was gonna stop after 30, and I still like convinced myself, because I'm so stubborn, to go to 55 miles. So I did 5 laps more when I told myself I actually should quit. I just didn't, I didn't feel like going on anymore. My knee was hurting. I was getting passed, and I just wasn't enjoying myself. And I think once you get to that point, I just felt like if I had a bad experience and kept pushing myself, it might take away from like future events. And I don't want to lose that enjoyment that I have from obstacle course racing.
With Robert Killian no longer in the race, dawn brought with it the opportunity for Ryan Atkins to close in on his second Spartan Ultra World Championship title.
Just in the morning when the sun came up and we could get rid of our headlamps, no longer need them, that's such a nice feeling. And being able to race with, natural light for a while, it's like so great.
Whilst Atkins had not run enough miles to claim Spartan's $1 million prize, victory ensured he retained his title as the best obstacle course racer in the world.
Spartan is a really good, gritty, gnarly, raw race that really lends itself well to butting up against those physical limits. And when I'm in that situation and kind of going after the maximum of what I'm able to do, that's when I'm kind of the most alive.
In total, Atkins ran 80 miles in 23 hours, 22 minutes and 5 seconds, finishing the race almost an entire day after it began.
Coming into the finish line, all the village was kind of waking up and people were coming out and starting to cheer. And the whole lap was just a bit of a celebration for me. It's really special to come back and be able to defend my title, something I wanted to do all season long. This race was kind of a big focus for me. So to be able to show up and perform on the day of is it's a good feeling.